everyone? OJ over here from PlayerEssence, and welcome to my village of Nintendo Switch and gaming news ninjas. Today we've got some great information on the official Media Create sales charts in Japan. So just to break this down for you guys, because I haven't talked about this for a while, but the Media Create is used by various sources to accurately track the Japanese sales. Okay, so many people use the Media Create sales charts more than Famitsu or any other sources, but Famitsu and Media Create are usually about the same, but Media Create has always been the kind of go-to sourcing for tracking Japanese sales data, or at least last week was for Nintendo, as the Nintendo Switch did launch in Japan. So how did the system do? How did all of it play out as far as the Media Create goes? Well, we got some sales numbers for Zelda, 1-2 Switch, Dragon Quest Heroes 1 and 2, and more. So let's go ahead and get right into it. This report is always done by the fantastic website Gamatsu, so I'm going to go ahead and jump into what they have to say on the matter. So the Nintendo Switch sold 329,152 units during its first week of release in Japan. In comparison, the PlayStation 4 sold 309,154 units, the Wii U sold 308,142 units, and the Xbox One sold 25,674 units during their first weeks. This week's highest opening selling game was The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild, which opened up on Nintendo Switch at 187,379 units sold. The Wii U version also moved an additional 44,602 units for a total of 231,971 units. Outside of Nintendo Switch software, Sony Interactive Entertainment's Horizon Zero Dawn for the PlayStation 4 launched at the second most with 116,997 units sold. So here are the full sales charts 1 through 20, then we'll actually get into the hardware sales. 1-2 Switch at number 3. That game sold nearly 80,000 units with 79,536 units sold. So people still kind of bought the game in Japan without it being a bundle, so that was a good idea because Nintendo just made a ton of money off of that when people were going to buy the system either way. I don't think 1-2 Switch was going to compel more people to purchase the system more than they did otherwise, because this system, Nintendo Switch, didn't come with the game, and it outsold the Wii U quite easily, and that came with Nintendo Land. Also, The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild for the Wii U, 44,000 like we talked about. Nier Automata, that is in its second week, I think, 236,000 with 38,000 sold this week. Now, Nintendo Switch games, I'm going to go over those because that's probably what you guys want to hear about. Number 6 was Super Bomberman R from Konami. That sold 36,623 units, while Dragon Quest Heroes 1 and 2 for the Nintendo Switch sold 25,606 units, so pretty low underneath Bomberman, but those games are available on various other platforms from PS Vita, PS3, and PS4. Disgaea, which is on the Nintendo Switch, also didn't chart at all. I Am Setsuna didn't chart at all because those games have just been available on other platforms for a long time at this point. That was pretty much it with the notable releases when it comes to software and Nintendo. As far as hardware sales go, we do know 329,152 units. PlayStation 4 was second with 31,065 units sold, and the new Nintendo 3DS XL and all the different 3DSs sold over 20,000 units. One more thing to note is that digital sales aren't counted, so The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild could have sold better than what's listed here. We just have physical numbers of units sold, not digital. Alright guys, and that's pretty much all the numbers there. I do want to go into a little bit of analysis when it comes to this, and trust me, I'm not going to spend a ton of time analyzing just first week sales, or not even first week, a few days on the market, but it is good to see that Nintendo did a little bit better than the Wii U and pretty much better than any other launch in the last generation for Japan. Almost 330,000 units is definitely an improvement, and it was not in the holiday period, it was during March, so that's really good. The Wii U launched during the holiday period in December for Japan, so seeing an increase in addition to seeing big games being sold as far as Legend of Zelda and also 1-2 Switch doing well is definitely good. I know with the Wii U in Japan, that actually launched with Monster Hunter, and I think that's the reason why a lot of the sales actually came from Japan when it comes to it selling over 300,000 units. Monster Hunter was a very big help to that system at launch. So they got that game, but no Monster Hunter this time. But I definitely think once Monster Hunter drops, that's really going to be a big title for Nintendo on the Nintendo Switch, and of course Pokemon and other RPGs that are going to be coming. So really interested to seeing what happens there. But overall, I'm just happy that people are just playing games on the Nintendo Switch and playing Zelda, playing Fast RMX. Super Bomberman has been getting some love, although there's some issues here and there. But to me, it's just about playing the games. That's what really the Nintendo Switch is for me. I can play games in between my editing sessions. I can play games with my daughter in tabletop mode when we're out in the living room and stuff. It's just a fantastic device just to play games in different play styles. People right there with a lot of games even having couch co-op and all of that. So that's what I'm happy about the most. Obviously, there needs to be stuff that they need to do to help and improve the system when it comes to making sure the sales last with consistent lineup of games and adding features to the system, but I do feel those will come in due time. So what do you guys think about these numbers here? Nintendo Switch pretty much had the best launch from the last generation up until this point. Hasn't been another system really since I think maybe the Wii that really beat it out, or the Nintendo 3DS I think as well. So let me know what you guys think about all of that in the comment section below. I would love to hear your thoughts on the Japanese sales numbers for the Nintendo Switch and the games. Alright guys, that wraps it up for this video here. Go ahead and hit that like button if you did like it. Lets me know you guys want more content like this going forward in the future. And subscribe to PlayerEssence for the latest news, reviews, discussions, and more. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you ninjas for the next video. Peace.